This is WT for TST, and this evening we're honoured to be joined by newcomer Davy Fury. How are you, mate?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good, mate. Apart from looking at you here, yeah, and looking at your beard, right, I've got to ask you a question because I've got beard envy. Because if you can see, I don't dye mine. So here's a question: do you dye it?
Yeah, I do. I'm greyer than you. I'll tell you that for now. I literally, my phone's fucking dropping down now. I got to like about 25, and I must have hit like a second burst of puberty, and then all of a sudden I just started losing my hair, and losing my hair, and my beard just started going a bit grey. And then I was like, right, do you know what? I'm not having that. Being bald, I can deal with. I'm a man. But being bald and grey and being in my 20s, I draw the line. Do you know what I mean? Two kids under two.
It's the new look. Everyone's got it, mate. It's all good.
Each to their own. But 2 kids under 2-year-old, I can't be grey. You know what I mean?
Mate, well, I blame that on the kids because I've got 3 daughters. But anyway, right. Anyway, let's get into this, mate. First time on TST. What we like to do. We like to almost find out about you, really, who you are, you know, behind the gloves, etc., and start with your childhood. So yours started in Salford. You're a Salford lad, yeah?
Yeah, born and bred. Born in Salford. Grew up at the back of Wellington Terrace. It's not there anymore, I don't think. My house, what I grew up in. It was a nice shithole, to be fair, but it was our shithole. Do you know what I mean? And it was is what it is. I took a girl I was seeing down there not that long ago to show her where I was from, and you know, she was quite a nice girl from a good family. You know, you could just see that look in somebody's face as if to go, get me out of here.
Mate, could you not see that just looking at you though before?
I know, right? I tell you, right, butter wouldn't melt.
Mate, it's like Jenny from the block, innit, mate? Never forget your roots. So Council House, was it? Council House in Salford?
No, my old man owned it. That's what he did. He was a builder, like building, glass work, bricklaying, roofing, tarmacking, anything he could lay his hands to. And he bought it, and we kind of lived there whilst he was doing it up and whatnot. I was born originally. I was born and lived in a caravan, but I don't really remember that. All the baby pictures of me are sort of in that house, and then he sold it on. There was a load of Miver where they basically knocked the houses down in the early 90s, and whatnot. And then they built a load of new council houses there, and then it was up the road and into a caravan and. A bit of my grandparents' land across the green from it.
So from a traveller background, some of the travellers I spoke to before that are into the boxing and stuff, they didn't bother going to school. Is that the same for you, or yeah? Yeah,
I went to like primary school for a few years, and then I just started working when I was about 10, 11, and that was that. You know, never had any desire. I was never that academically good. You know, I'm life smart. That's what I like to say. But give me a pen and paper and tell me to do a test, and I'll just stare at you. But
what were you doing for work then? Like, what were you saying? Like your dad was doing stuff like that?
Yeah, same stuff. Roofing, tarmacking, building. It's probably helped with the frame a bit, antic growing up. And then it led me into, you know, when I got a bit older, I did a bit of that myself. You know?
So we're probably at what, 11, 12?
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but something happens in your old man's life and he ends up not around, yeah?
Yeah, he got nicked, got pinched, my dad did. And then it was quite a big crime. I mean, that's you know, that's my dad's business, so I won't go into it too much. I'm fine talking about me, but he got nicked, he got quite a long time, and my mum disappeared. And she was with a new bloke who was a bit of a wanker as well. He's a right arsehole. But it is what it is. And I was kind of left to fend for myself, I suppose.
So how old were you there? 13, did you say?
Yeah, 12, 13, something like that.
So it's not. I think you've been a bit modest there. You weren't just left to fend for yourself. You were left to fend for your little brothers and sisters, aren't you?
Oh yeah, we had my grandparents not too far away and stuff, but I think you know, they never wanted to get too involved, and because they were my mum's mum and dad, I think they were kind of a bit devastated about what had happened. You know, I think they couldn't quite. They never liked my dad, but when my mum had then sort of done one, I don't think they ever really truly understood it. I think there was a bit of denial, and they just kind of kept a distance. My nan had always come round though on a Sunday with a load of food and stuff prepared for me, which was amazing. But if I needed any washing doing, it'd be Nan, come on now, do your bit. But they're good people. I think they're just older. Do you know what I mean? Older generation in their time, it weren't a big thing for kids to be on their own, was it? As where nowadays, if you did that, if somebody left, if you or I left our kids, it'd be hung, drawn and quartered, don't pass go in, the nick you off. But at the time, it weren't a big thing. You know, the neighbours looked out for you, people you knew, other people in the community. I had cousins and all that, uncles, aunties, and I did a good job. You know, I did a good job. I worked hard. I made sure they had everything, and you know, it led me down a bit of a bad path because there's only so many ways you can make enough money. You know what I mean?
We're talking drugs and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, drugs, fraud, money laundering, anything. You know, anything that somebody offered me. I got approached by some people who were, you know, bang at it, big organised crime, and you know, they'd offer me stuff, and I was good at the job, so they'd offer me more and more. And you know what? You could say I was young and stupid, but the God's honest truth is I was greedy and I loved it. You know, there's no poor kid. I loved it. You know, I was young and stupid, but I loved the rewards what come from it, and I was a different man then. You know, a very different man. I'd sort of I knew what I saw, and I knew that them men had more than me, and I saw an opportunity and I took it. And then eventually, you know, it became my undoing. But like in anything, you keep your mouth shut, you ride your time, and that's that. And
did you go inside for a bit?
Yeah, I was on remand. I was on remand for 3 years, and when I come out, well, when I got to my trial, it kept on getting pushed back and pushed back. You know, they remand you for 6 months, and then they push the trial back because, well, we heard everything from the police. We can't get the evidence that we need because he's intimidating witnesses. We can't get this because there's been hidden and stuff. And I was in prison. It was a load of nonsense. What they were looking for just weren't there. I sat there and I told them straight up, this I've done, this I've done, this I've done, that. You're away with the fairies. You know, you're looking for the golden goose where one doesn't exist. I'm not some big crime lord. I'm a kid trying to make my way. You know, at one point we were homeless. And if it comes down to putting a roof over mine and my loved one's head and bending the rules, then I think any family man would. So, you know, I made some bad decisions. And then I got a bit older and realised, but yeah, it was just at me trial when it finally come around, the prosecution kept on coming to us and saying, listen, here's a deal, we'll drop this, we'll drop these charges out, we'll drop these charges out. And my barrister just kept saying, don't take it because you've got nothing. And in the end, we went from looking at 12 to 15 years to them making a deal with me where if I plead guilty to a couple of counts of fraud, possession, and 3 counts of money laundering, they'd release me on time served. So it went from this great big thing where, you know, they were portraying me as some real bad guy to all of a sudden plead guilty to that and we'll let you out. At what point we went, do you know what? We'll take that deal. We'll go with it, because they were never letting me out with nothing because I'd already done the time. They weren't going to pay me for unlawful imprisonment, were they? So, you know, it was one of them where we had to we had to take what we could. And I come out and I went, you know what? I'm not doing that again. Prison was fine. I'm a big guy. I can handle myself. But it's boring. The gym facilities aren't there. And, you know, you can't box. You can't train properly. You can't eat enough. And why would you want to be in there when you can be out here living a good life? So I come out. I worked very hard, very, very hard. And I turned my life around completely. Boxing.
What's the biggest? I guess the obvious question is what's the biggest thing prison taught you? Did it change the way that you were thinking about things, or?
Do you know, I saw a lot of people who genuinely had nothing. You know, people who were literally stealing out of shops to sell alcohol on so they could buy a loaf of bread, and things like that. Or, you know, a lot of people who were there because they wanted a roof over their head, you know, like homeless people and things. And I just thought, this is my life. Like, I've got a bit of an head on my shoulders and I can do more than this. And there's people who've had it worse than me. Because up till then, I think I always looked at myself and went, well, my dad left, my mum fucked off. What choice did he have? And I thought, well, I do have a choice. I really do have a choice. And that choice is be a dosser like these and keep on doing this, or get out of here, do it the right way and do something proper and make something out of your life. Because time doesn't wait, and you can't, you know, I can't sing, I can't dance. I've got a certain set of skills and I'm an all right fighter. So I thought, you know what, if I'm going to do something with that, time doesn't wait, does it? You know, I'm blessed at heavyweight because I've got a little bit of extra time, but I thought, right, time to do something. So I went, I spoke to a couple of people, put the gloves on, did all the white collar stuff and the semi-pro stuff and all that. Got a blooming EBF license and, you know, all that nonsense, and just waded through everybody they put in front of me, to the point that it got to, they wouldn't put anybody in front of me. Nobody would want the fight. They'd say yes, and then they'd change their mind, and there'd be like 3 or 4 replacement fighters every fight. And then on the night I'd be turning up, somebody's been given £1,000 or 500 quid or whatever, and just chucked in because they've not got a fighter to put in front of me. And I've sold 200 to 1,000 tickets. You know what I mean? And it happened at Derby Arena. I come out and I didn't know how to change the fighter until I got into the ring.
Wow.
Like, literally, I mean, I'm not asked or fight any man, but it's nice to know who you're fighting.
Yeah.
You know? And I got in there, and the guy shouldn't have been in the ring with me. I poleaxed him, you know. He was, I hit him with this jab and I saw his eyes roll, and I thought, what do you do? Do you drag this on? And I thought, nah, just get him out of there. So give him a left to the body, a right over the top, and he went to kip. And I said to the promoter afterwards, what the fuck's this? He shouldn't have been in there with me. What's happened to this blooming Lithuanian guy who was meant to be fighting this hard man? He goes, he didn't turn up on the night. I went, well, he turned up to the weigh-in yesterday, so where is he now? And we sold that many tickets. He goes to me, just goes, well, we couldn't pull the fight because you'd sold that many tickets. So we had to get.
Where was he? Did you find out where he went?
Just disappeared. I think he's fought for the guy since. So, and I just thought he should have given me a call. I'd have come and done him. But yeah, it was just, you know, could you imagine that? I'd rather take a hiding than not turn up for the fight.
So you said I'm just going to go backtrack a little bit. You said you can't sing, you can't dance, but you've got a few skills. I think you've got more than that. I think you're a really deep thinker. Am I right?
If I was a deep thinker, I wouldn't have been in that much trouble in my life, I don't think.
No, but I think that's changed. I think when you talk about your upbringing, I think when you talk about the prison and stuff, since then, something in your head's changed. And when I've looked on your Instagram and stuff, and you these quotes that you come out with, I think you're a lot cleverer up there than what maybe you're giving yourself credit for.
I don't know. I'm not thick. I'm not totally thick anyway. I think there's a big part of it where you do have to think about things. You know, I'm a father. I'm I've got to set an example. I've got to do things the right way, and stuff. So I do think about my actions, because not thinking about my actions before has got me into a bit of bother, as we've just been over. But then at the same time, I think I don't sit there dwelling on things or overthinking stuff. I just try and do what I believe is the right way now, or try and do things as I believe they should be done.
Yeah, and probably just saying on that as well, probably the fact that you probably don't care what people think anymore.
I don't, mate. When I was a bad lad, I heard it all. So if somebody now wants to tell me that I can't box, fuck off. Do you know what? You're the one watching me. That's an extra 20 quid in my pocket. You're the one watching me. I'm trying. I'm giving it me everything, and then at the same time, 90% of the comments and stuff what we get now are like people going, "Well done, you've turned your life around."
Absolutely.
And and I just think, well, that's what more motivation do you need? Strangers backing me, following my career, buying merchandise, sending me messages, taking their time to watch what I'm doing, telling me that they're proud of me. And I think, wow, how overwhelming, how phenomenal. And, what more can you ask for? So when it comes down to what people think, it'd be unfair to say I don't care, because I cared about them what are nice to me, you know what I mean? But but negative comments and the hate and stuff, crack on. We laugh about it in the gym, and at the end of the day, if I've done something wrong to you in the past, or you feel genuinely aggrieved by me, come and knock on my door, tell me, we'll have a cup of tea and we'll sort it out.
But you've done that now, haven't you? You've not surrounded yourself with negativity anymore, have you? You've only got positivity.
I don't. Life's short. God can judge you, nobody else. And the God's honest truth is, I'm a God-loving man. I find solace in the church. I find solace in the gym. And, if somebody's got something constructive to say, I'll listen. But if they're just spouting out over a keyboard because they're bored, I haven't got the time for it. Crack on.
Good lad. So you've now moved to Cheshire, yeah? So that was to leave Manchester behind, was it? Yeah.
Not really to leave Manchester behind. Listen, I'm a Manc born and bred. I'm proud to be from Manchester, and I'm proud of my fans, my following, my friends, my family, and all the support I've got there. It's more out of fear, because it's very easy to step into the wrong lane. There's a lot of bad stuff what goes on in bigger cities. Not any big city. There's a lot of bad stuff what goes on, and I don't want my kids growing up with that. If I can move them to a nicer area and send them to better schools and give them a better upbringing in a softer, quieter, less busy area, then do you know what? That's what I'm going to do. Why wouldn't I? You try and give every generation should try and give the next generation a little bit more, I believe. And I just want to do what's best for my kids and my family.
No, mate. Listen, like you said, anyone would do the same. So let's go into your white collar then. We did talk about it a little bit there, but 14 wins, all stoppage, and now they're not putting. And now they can't put anyone in front of you. Is that why the decision now? Let's go get the pro license.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'd love to have gone and got that British license a year ago, but again, I probably wasn't the man I am today. So everything happens for a reason, and I've had 12 months of fucking about with it anyway. Moving, working. Trying to sort things out. I've spent 6 months training, and the guy didn't get his license.
What, a manager's license?
No, his trainer's license. I got in touch with him and went, look, I'm at that point where I was about to turn over. I've just moved, so I can't get to that gym. It's not geographically feasible for me anymore. I'm looking for somewhere to train, but this is what I want to do in the next 6 months. And he went, yeah, that's fine. I've just put in for my license and all the rest of it. Paid the guy 30 quid a day, 600 quid a month. And, on the promise that he's got his license coming. And then it never comes. So I was just like, all right, well done. You've done, you've done me out of a few grand over the last 6 months. Congratulations. And ever since I goes, look, no hard feelings. I don't hold grudges. I've made mistakes in my life. So I just went, you know what, I'm going to move on, and I wish you all the best. You're a good PT, but that's you can't give me what I need going forward. And I don't need a PT. I need a boxing trainer with a license and with a professional license, and I need a manager with a manager's license, don't I? So that's that. It was a shame. It was a shame because you know what, I liked the guy. I felt, he said all the right things. I thought we were friends, and you know what is since I've gone on, we've had all these interviews, and I've actually got this chance now. I feel like his reaction showed me that it was just a sales pitch, but it's always a shame, and maybe I'm wrong, but my phone's certainly not rang going, I've just seen your interview, well done. Glad to see that after the last 6 months of hard work, what we put in, you deserve it. So you can make what you want out of it, but mentioning no names. Because I don't know what the actual situation is.
Yeah, no, listen, that's great, mate. And then we go into the Dale Arrowsmith conversation, I guess. So how did that come about?
Listen, Dale's my fucking brother. I'm telling you, that guy. I got in touch with him. I was, over a bit of was speaking to the gaffer at Matthew Atten's gym up in Bredby in Stockport. And he gave me like a few different names. He goes, look, Matthew's not taking anyone else on at the moment. These are the people you want to speak to, though. And I did research and looked at them and all the rest of it. And I went, do you know what? I'm gonna go speak to Dale. Don't know why, just something to do me to him. And he's young and ambitious, isn't he? Just about as mad as me. So we might just about get a little bit of luck and make this fucking happen. But seriously, the guy's like, when it comes down to what he does, he's so good at it. Like he's there working, and it's incredible. Like the opportunities that he's got when the doors is opened, and we're just growing. We're just hit this sort of spiral, and it's getting out of control, but in the best possible way. And Louis, my trainer, me and him just bounce off each other. When you're tired, when you're seeing stars and you feel sick in the gym, it's almost like you've got to do a bit more because he's a big lad in. So
mate, I've seen you on the pads with him. He looks like a man on a mission. It looks like he's about to like.
Normally, you've got the excuse of, oh well, you're heavyweight, you're gonna burn out quicker. The guy's huge, so I can't even, we can't even use it. So but we bounce off each other. It's amazing. He's a really good. He knows his shit. They both do. And we've just gelled. We're literally, I couldn't ask for a better team, and everything happens for a reason. I keep saying that, but I believe it, and God's put them in my path for that reason, and we're working well. The opportunities are coming in thick and fast. Some of the phone calls, what we've had, I can't say anything about, unfortunately, but, some of the things, what we've heard and what have come through are insane. And I'm sat there and I'm going, fuck off. That can't be real. Like, I'm a fan of theirs. What are they asking about me for? Like, I'm a fan of theirs.
Is it like watching someone else's life sometimes?
Mate, I can't understand this right now. Like, if you'd have said to me 10 years ago when I was sat in the Nick, right? In 10 years' time, you'll have a nice house in Cheshire, 2 beautiful children, your dream career, and people will be ringing off the phone for you. And I've gone, you, son, need to stop buying narcotics from me. But nowadays, we're sat here and I'm sat here and behind this camera, I'm looking and I'm going, do you know what? Whilst I'm talking about it, I'm getting a bit nostalgic and I'm looking at my house and I'm going, fucking hell, I've actually come somewhere. Like, I am a little scruff from the back of nowhere. And I don't proclaim to be nothing that I'm not. I'm a good man, I've got a good heart, I make bad decisions, and I'm a little bit hot-headed, what I was. And boxing, seeing this is a boxing interview, boxing, it saved my life. It keeps me on the straight and narrow because I've got something to lose now. It's given me that thing that my kids can be proud of me for doing. It's given me that meditation. It's given me that focus. It's given me that reason to get out of bed in the morning when you just feel like you don't want to. it's given me that fitness. It's probably given me an extra 30 years on my life because I suffered, as we touched on, bad with like drinking drugs. It's sobered me up. It's given me the extra 30 years of my life. I'll see my kids get old.
I think it's made you proud of yourself, mate.
It has. It's given me something to be proud of. The first time, money in my God. I've always done all right in that front, whether it be legal or illegal. And it's one of them where now the thought of blooming of crime and stuff, I just think that's so far away, it's so far away. And I was speaking to a copper about it. I was dating a copper for a bit. There's a certain irony to that. And me and her were talking, and she's literally shy. It's still like, she's still me everything now, still my best mate now. But we were talking for a bit, and we were talking about everything. And the fact that, where I am now compared to where I was, and that I was dating a copper was just, it's just so twisted. And boxing is everything to thank for it, because I wouldn't have done it otherwise. You know what I mean? And that life, what I left behind, it seems like so far away. I haven't got it in me to be like that anymore. I haven't got the bollocks to be like that anymore. It's one thing taking a punch in the mouth. That's just being a man. But going and breaking the law and, doing stupid things for risk your liberty, it's stupid.
You've got too much to lose now, mate.
That's it. I've got my kids and I've got the boxing. I've got something to lose. And yeah, I am proud. I am proud to answer your question. I'm not, you just said it. I'm thinking about it now. And as we can see, I am, apparently maybe you're right. I am a deep thinker. But yeah, it's crazy. Boxing's given me a sense of meaning. It's given me a purpose, being a dad and providing for them is one thing, but boxing's given me that purpose in my own personal life. Being a dad, you do it for your kids, but you've got to have something for you as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
Before the Facebook brigade or the social media police start getting on there and going, he said it's all for him and not his kids. There's anybody who's got kids, there's a line in there where you do everything for your kids, but you've got to have, some people sit down and have a brandy at night. Other people go to the back door and have a sticky cigarette. Whatever it is you do, some people go fishing. Whatever your release is, you've got to have something for yourself. And mine just happens to take up 6 days of my life. And although my whole life, 6 days of my life in the gym, the 7th day when I go for a run, eating, sleeping, training, But it's great because the kids can grow up and they can see that their dad did something. And I'm hoping that by the time they're old enough to sort of see it all, it won't be your dad used to be a criminal, but now look what he's doing in the ring. It'll be your dad was a big heavyweight on the British scene, if not, on the domestic scene, if not the world scene. And I'd love that. And that's all the motivation and determination that you need. I've got a big heart, but the kids put the rest of it there, and their mum, fucking hell, she put up with some shit with me. I've known her for a long time, and fucking hell. Their mother, I'm under strict instruction not to name names and point fingers, but fucking hell, she put up with hell and high water. I've known her for a long time, and at one point she had to lock me in a bloody bedroom before we were even seeing each other because I was hell bent. I was set on killing myself. I was done. I'd emptied my bank account and I was done, mate. I was gone. Too many drugs, too much drink. Thinking on your sins too much, and now here we are.
Everything happens for a reason. So
I've not had a boring life.
So Davy Fury, what is next? What's the next little bit of the jigsaw?
Well, the BBBSC's just put a right fist in my arse, haven't they, today, by saying there's no boxing in January and everything's stopped. So hopefully we'll be out at the end of February, start of March. And now it's answering that question, what everybody seems to keep on asking. What can he actually do? I can sit here and go, well, I train hard, I get hard. I'll box on the inside. I'm long. I'm awkward. You know, you can say all of that, but the proof's in the pudding. And now I want to get out there and I want to show people what I can do, because I don't look the cleanest on the pads or on the bag and all the rest of it. I look like, you know, I really don't. But I am one of them men who I don't spar well in the gym and then shit myself on fight night. It's the making of me. You know, I am a fighting man. I'm a tough man. And you put me in there and I'll show you what I'm made of. And it don't matter who's in front of me. They're having an hard time. So the next step is get that date, get out there and do it.
Get that debut, mate. Right. So that ends, apart from I've got a few questions from the followers. Sometimes these can be as random as hell. You have got a random one, but they're not too bad. So I'll read it exactly as it's been asked. Frankie,
disclaimer there. Go on.
Yeah. So listen, right? Yeah, exactly. I know the answer to this one anyway, and it's going to be the obvious one. But Frankie wants to know: you look and you sound like a Fury, but are you part of the Fury clan?
We're all related somewhere, brother. We're all related somewhere.
Is that a yeah or a no?
It's a yeah. A distance, nothing close.
A distance down the thing. Well, that's going to be the question everyone asks you, isn't it? It's going to get boring for you answering it.
Oh, it does. I've answered it 1,000 times, but yeah, nothing close.
Right, next one. Danny wants to know, this is the random one. Danny wants to know, if you were stranded on a desert island, what 3 things would you have taken with you?
Food, water, and the missus.
You what?
Food, water, and the missus. Well, if she's in the mood with me, my dog.
That's a boring answer. Right. Dom wants to know, what's your ambition within boxing?
Take it as far as I can. You know, learn on the job, keep on going. I'm in the gym. I train harder than anybody else. Crowler trained harder and got a world title. I don't see why I can't. We're coming for it all. We're not here to take part, mate. We're here to take over. And it might sound like a big claim, but watch, I'll show you. I'll back up everything I say. And if somebody wants to stop me, they're going to have to stop me. That's the only way.
Last question, the most important one I've asked you all night. You ready for this? It's a big one. What are your top 3 chocolate bars?
Oh, God, Snickers, Milky Way, and then, what do they call Milky Bar buttons? They're naughty, them.
Right out there. Milky Way.
Yeah, listen, right? The red car, have you not seen that advert? The red car with the blue car around a race?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're naughty, mate. They're naughty.
Yeah, the advert's good, but, mate, Milky Way, that's the worst answer we've had. Yeah.
Listen, right, we'll fall out over this. I'll fight over the Milky Way, mate.
I'll bring some to you. I'll bring some to your fight and I'll throw them at you, mate.
Yeah, that's it.
Anything that you want to say to the viewers, mate, before we finish?
Do you know what? All I want to say is thank you so much for watching this, for supporting me, for just being there. This is overwhelming, and I keep saying it's overwhelming. Thank you. But this is a dream come true for me. And, you know, from being the man I was and the mistakes I made to being where I am now and the support that I have, it's phenomenal. So from the bottom of my heart, you know, thank you, because I don't know whether I deserve it or not, but thank you, and I'll keep on doing everything I can to reward you for your support, and you know, I'll keep on working hard, and it means the world to me when I'm having a bad day or when it's a cold morning and I don't want to go running. It is all you guys what get me up and what keep me going. So thank you. God bless you all.
Davy Fury, that's me done. Thank you very much for your time, and we'll catch up again soon. Take care, mate.
Bye, man. God bless.